Hello everyone, this is Kayla with the Coopersville Area District Library, and I am here for our December adult craft night. We're still going virtual obviously because you're seeing me on video either on Facebook or YouTube. But today we will be making these super simple and cute little snowman clothespins. I keep saying paper clips, but it's clothespins. And then also the option to put a magnet on the back so you can stick it on your fridge if you want to. These are super cute and super easy. Most of the time you're just going to be waiting for the paint to dry is really the hardest part about this project. So if you stick around, I will show you what supplies you need and then I will give you a tutorial on how to make these. Have fun crafting. So for this craft you will need a clothespin. Mine is already painted white just for time because I didn't want to have to sit here and talk to you while I had to wait for paint to dry in this one. So just a regular clothespin. It's a wooden one like the ones you'd find, just at the dollar store or wherever. You will also need a paintbrush or something else small to put paint on. Obviously I used a bigger one to paint the whole thing, but something very small, even like a toothpick, would work for the more detailed work. Mine's small, but I actually ended up using the end of it just because even this was not small enough for that. You will need a magnet that just came off a larger roll of magnet that I think we bought on Amazon a while ago for a different craft, but any magnet will do as long as it sticks. Then you will need scissors just for cutting that magnet, also for cutting some twine or ribbon or whatever else you want to use to make a little bow on your snowman. And then you'll need paint in 4 colors, so white I don't have with me because I already did it there, but then you'll need black. It doesn't have to be this kind, even just regular craft paint would actually work better than the washable, but just because I know I'm not going to be getting these wet, the washable works fine, and this is what we had. So some black paint, some orange paint, and some red paint, and you're just going to be using the tiniest little bit of these, so you really don't need a lot. Just one of those little, like craft tubes you find at the dollar store or Walmart or whatever. Doesn't need to be a lot of paint at all. And then I also have a paper plate just to use because I don't have, a paint palette or anything. So anything, even just like a nice thick piece of scrap paper, or I've used, yogurt lids or whipped cream lids, whatever works for you to put paint on. So we are gonna start. We're gonna take our clothespin here. Like I said before, I already painted mine white just so we didn't have to sit here and wait for it to dry. That's really what takes the longest in this project, is just waiting for the paint to dry. So because I have mine and it's already painted white, what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay it so you can kind of see where the middle part is there. There's a longer part up here with the top you pinch to open it. That's what we're going to be painting the snowman face and those things on. So we are going to do that and lay it out there just so we don't get it the wrong way. And we are going to take, like I said, just a tiny bit of each paint, and I like to start with the little carrot nose just because it's kind of easier to space things out that way. So I'm just going to put just the tiniest dot of paint in each color on there. Like I said, that is, and that one's a little crusty. Our paint doesn't get used a ton, so it gets a little crusty in between uses. There's my black. Then I'm gonna put my red. Oh, that's even way more red than I need, but that one came out a little fast. So like I said, just a dot of each one, unless you're making a lot of these. In that case, pour out more because you'll use it as you go along. But now all we're gonna do is we're gonna, and I forgot to say, I also have a little piece of paper towel just so I can wipe off my little paintbrush. But like I said, I'm taking the end of the paintbrush and I am just dipping it in there to get a dot. And then I am just gonna paint a little carrot nose, which is really just a dot, and then kind of drag it out a bit. And the nice thing about carrots is they are not straight, because mine did not end up straight there, but you know what? I've seen curved carrots before, so that is good enough for me. So that is it for the nose. So I'm just gonna wipe off my paintbrush off camera here with my paper towel. And then I'm gonna do the eyes next. So I'm just doing the same thing, taking a dot of black paint. I'll make sure I'm on camera here. And I'm just gonna do 2 little dots for eyes. That one's a little smaller, so I'm gonna make it a bit bigger just by kind of dabbing more on there. And then with the black, we're also gonna do a mouth, which is just 3 or 4 more dots kind of in a little smiley formation. You might have to go back and get a bit more paint just so your dots are the same size there. And then once again, I'm just going to take my paper towel, wipe that off. That's what's really nice about this plastic paintbrush is it wipes off really easily, so you don't even need to break out the water to rinse it in between. Now we're done with the black, so we're going to move on to the red. And the red is just going to be 3 little buttons. I'm going to get a dot of paint and just a little bit lower down because you want to leave some space to tie on your twine or your ribbon for the scarf. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, move it around a bit just to get some more paint on there. And I'm actually going to go grab some more just so all my little button dots are the same size. And that is it. That is all the painting. Like I said, the hardest part is probably just getting the first white coat on there and waiting for that to dry. So we're going to take our paint out of the way. With some moving magic, we're going to take this one and we're going to trade it for a dry one. So it looks a little bit different just because I did this one earlier. But as you can see, there's his little face there. I already stuck the magnet on this one because I didn't think ahead. But really all you do, if I can find my magnet, because the magnet strip I have is just peel and stick. I think you can find these kind of, rolls of magnets at the dollar store as well. But all you do is peel off the back sticker and you just stick it on the back there. But if you have different magnets, you can just hot glue them or use, a stronger craft glue on there. Mine's a little wider so you can see it through. So if you are concerned about that, just make sure they're not wider than your clip. But this guy is all painted and dry. So what we're gonna do, just take some twine, and I like to do longer than I think I need just because I'm not very good at tying bows, especially this small. So it's always easier to have more and then you can just trim off the end. But what you're gonna do, just take him like right below between his mouth and the buttons. You're just gonna tie a bow. Like that little crumbs of paint on there, so I'm just blowing those off. So I just looped it around. You want to tie it pretty tight because you want it to stay on there. It should be okay like this, but if you want to be extra secure, you can always put a little dot of hot glue or craft glue on there to make sure his bow doesn't fall off. Don't ask me for a bow tying tutorial because I am not good at this. I was always amazed at my mom's bow tying skills as a kid because she would do it on Christmas presents. She was just like really good at it. And I was always the finger she used to hold it down, but I did not inherit that skill apparently. But you know what? This one is good enough for me. So there's his little bow. Like I said, I got long ends just because I like to start with more than I need because it's easier to trim it. So I'm just going to trim off his ends. You could even use, I think like a flat piece of ribbon will look good. It'd probably look more like a scarf and it might be a little bit easier to work with. So but there you go, and I'm just going to adjust that so it's not right in his face there. And if you didn't want it to come untied, again, you could add a little thing of glue. But that is it. That is your cute little clip. You can use them as bag clips. You can stick them on Christmas presents. Obviously, if you put the magnet on the back, you can use it as a magnet, but that's up to you. And it's a super easy, simple craft, a fun one to do with kids. So if you got grandkids coming over or you're just trying to distract your kids a bit during Christmas break, this would be a good one to do with them, and you can use them all winter long because snowmen aren't just for Christmas. But I hope you enjoyed and I hope you have fun crafting, and we will see you again in January.